What's up there, 8th graders? Mr. Callan here helping out with your homework. Lesson 9, we're talking about the converse. The converse is pretty easy. It's just the Pythagorean theorem being used to prove whether a triangle is right or not, meaning having a right angle in it. So what will happen is we'll give you some side links like 7, 10, and 12. And you just got to answer the question yes or no. Is this a right triangle? And then, of course, I want you to be able to explain why as well. So let's jump right into this. I like to draw a picture of this one. So I'm going to draw a little picture of a 7. There's my 7 by 10. So a little bit longer down here. 7 by 10, and then the longest side, 12. Now, I don't know if this is right yet, but I kind of got it close to looking like one because it could be. But what if it is a right triangle? Then the square of the smaller one plus the square of the next smallest one will equal the square of the biggest. So if this is true, then I'm going to erase this and make it a little bit smaller in my writing. Let's make this 7, and this is 10, and this is 12. So if this is a 7 by 7 square over here, then this would be 49 square units, and a 10 by 10 square would be 100 square units, and a 12 by 12. Delcy, what's 12 times 12? 144. My third grader knows that. 144. So we multiply those out, and these are the squares that we get. Now, if this was a right triangle and it followed the Pythagorean theorem, then what we would have is we would have a squared, which is one of the small ones, plus b squared, the other smaller square of the side, should equal the square of the bigger one. Now, I'm going to call a 49 and b 100 and c 144. So when I square 7 squared, that's where the 49 comes from. And when I square the 10 from b, that's where the 100 comes from. Is that equal to the 144 that I get when I square the 12? And when you add the left side together, you get 100. Sorry, that's 100. 149. Now, that does not equal 144. So my reasoning is going to be no, it's not a right triangle. The sum of smaller squares should equal the area of hypotenuse squared if, that's the word if, if it is a right triangle. And that might be a little bit overkill on the explanation, but you know what? I like to throw out that vocabulary in there just to show that's what's happening. If 49 and 100 would have added up to 149, and that's what this was, it would have worked. If I wanted to make it work, I could make that 149, and instead of 12 there, I could write square root of 149. And that would make that equal. We talked about doing that, like where we could adjust it, where we can make the sides equal and be a right triangle if we wanted to. So this is not a right triangle. That 12 needs to be a little bit longer. If it was square root of 149 instead of square root of 144, it would have worked, but it doesn't. So not a right triangle, and that is the converse. Just using the Pythagorean theorem to prove whether 3 triangle sides make a right triangle or not. That's all I got. Later.